Good morning, happy Saturday, and welcome back to the Tailgate. You know, the curtains closed last week. We were done. That was it. But we heard the encore. You guys want it? You got it. We're back right here on Pub Sports Radio, baby. Shout out to you guys, man. You know, everybody says this. Everybody says, we're nothing without the chat. Well, we wouldn't be here right now on this Saturday without you guys. Like I said, you guys wanted us back. So we came back for this illustrious Saturday championship college football day. You know, we don't have the list of games that we always have. Usually we got 30, 40 games to go through, but we got 6 games that matter, 6 games that count, 6 games where, you know, the whole season has led to this. Everything's on the line for some of these teams, and I cannot wait to break them down, to talk about them with you guys. Look, I'm going to be honest. I've got 5 bets already today, and I've got another one that I'm very close to pulling the trigger on. It's kind of funny, you know, there's days where we got 35 bets on or 35 games on the card, and I come out with 3 bets. Now today we got 6 games on the card, and I got 5 bets. I don't know. I can't make it up. It just is what it is. It happens how it happens, but we're here, man. I want to say thank you one more time to you guys in the chat for bringing us back up here. Saturdays have been special. The college football, you know, it's my favorite thing in the whole world. Doing it with you guys took it to the next level. This has been exciting. It's been, it's been like almost like it like the blink of an eye, and it's all been over. You know, I feel like this college football season has gone by faster than any college football season that I've been a part of. But we're here, man. Winner's Circle in the chat. Nutflush showing up. Shout out to you, Nutflush. You warned us. You tried to tell us to watch out for that Army team total yesterday. But my dumbass was still on Tulane, and boy, was that a bad bet. Man, Tulane got smacked. The Army looked ready to go. Army was at home. It was cold. I knew as soon as they took the field, I was on the wrong side there. Good news is today I'm going to be on the right side. Today I'm getting paid, man. Justin dropping in the chat. Good to see you, Stacks. Justin, I dropped the link at the top of the show. So pop on in here. Justin's going to hop up. And I tell you guys what, since we only got 6 games today, if any of you guys have a best bet and you want to click in and hop on the show with us, do it. I'll drop the link one more time in here for you guys. Boom. And there it is. You guys hop on. Now we're going to go through our guests first, but if any of you guys in the chat want to come on, I want to see you guys' face. I want to get to know you all even better. You know, this year's been so much fun. Come on and give your best bet. It'll be a blast. Nate D, he said, let's get some money ready to go. Kyle Hintlian, good to see you back in the chat. He said he's got 7,500 on Miami, Ohio. Holy shit, I will be rooting for you, my dude. It's a big one. Nuke Worker coming in here. He asked everybody to smash the like. And that's the last thing I'm going to ask, what Nuke just asked. If you can, hit the like, share the video. I'm going to go to X right now and retweet it on Pub Sports Radio. Let's make today special, man. Let's get as many people in here as we can. Let's make it a bookie's worst nightmare. Let's make this championship Saturday a day that the bookies remember next year that they hate, okay? Just hit that retweet. If you guys can, do it also. Anybody else that I missed in the chat, man, Sharon Pullman, good to see you. D. Jenkins, good to see you. Everybody, man. NJ Stryker, John K. Thank you guys for being here, man. Share that video, hit the like. But let's get started. You know, I'm going too long already. I got 2 people in the wings waiting, ready, you know, what is it? Champing at the bit, ready to bring you guys their action. I'm going to start with my dude. He's been here every week with us this year. You know, he's been hitting over 60% when it comes to Jose, betting with the bag, Pete. And I'm going to say this. People get hung up on that 60%, right? And coming from somebody who hit 60, that shit don't matter. All that matters is winning. And Wine Time has been winning nonstop. It's been electric. You know, you could have more bets and be at 50% and be making, or 58% and be making more money. So again, the 60%, that's just a number. The number that counts is the units that he's won us this year. So let me go ahead and get our guy back up here. My dude right here, Wine Time Sports. What up, Wine Time?
What up, Daby Cab, my guy? Good to be here with you per usual on a Saturday, man. I mean, you already mentioned it. Shout out to the chat for having us, man. You guys wanted another show. Here it is, man. We're going to give you guys some winners. Broke down a lot of these games earlier this week already. But I'm excited to break these games down with my guys right here. You know, we've been doing this all year long. We've been cashing all year long. This is by far the most successful betting show on YouTube. If you know of a better one, you let me know and you show me the numbers to that, because I won't believe you unless you show me some proof. With that being said, man, I'm ready to get this cash with you, my guy.
You know, I try not to, because it's not me, man. Look, I've had a slightly positive college football season. Barely even in the green. But you guys have fucking dominated this show, Wine Time. You guys, now I'm glad I'm in the green, but if I'm being completely transparent, for me personally, I would have liked to have a better season. But for this show, hot damn, man, I don't know how it could have been better. I don't know how it could have gone better. Almost every capper that's been on here has a positive record, which is insanity. I mean, you just don't see it. So thank you guys, man. Thank you, Wine Time. Thank you, Guns, Moose, Kong, Dutch, all you guys, man. Been killing it. Justin, ready to get you up here, Stacks. Look at Donut Skills rolling in the chat, man. Pipe Layer, good to see you, dude. Start dropping that action. I saw our guy, who was it? Q Media. He said he's on ASU money line, 1 unit bet. We're definitely going to hit into that one. We were just talking about that game backstage. And you know what? We got just the guy to do it. You know, last week he only went 2-2, but he hit his 3 unit bet. I'm going to say that only 2-2. It's like the worst week he's had all year, and he still hit his 3 unit bet that he got you guys. I hope some of you made money with him. If you didn't, I mean, you're just asleep. You're sleepwalking through it, right? I cashed the past 2 weeks with him. I only put $50 on them both, but damn it, he made me $100 the past 2 weeks, and you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. So shout out to him, man. Let's get him up here. Our guy's been dominating. One of my favorite college football cappers and all-around cappers in the game we got here. Guns Picks.
Yeah, man, the last Saturday, and you talk about my record. I had to go check. I have over 250 plays that I've put out in college football this year. 56% plus 38.9 units. That's how much money I'm making for the people here. I'm Mr. G5. I'm Mr. Worldwide. I'm the 3 unit banger king, and I got another 3 unit banger here today that I'm going to give out to the people, and I can't wait to do it here. Shout out to the chat. We got Stacks, Nut Flush, Kyle, Johnny K, all you beautiful bastards. Love it. Let's get into some Saturday action. I can't wait.
Hell yeah, man. Our guy Todd Clinton dropping the Oregon team total. I see some bets coming in. We got John K on Penn State money line. Dude, big games. And here, I'll go ahead and say this to you guys in the chat. We're never like always on the same side. We don't, Guns and Wine Time don't call each other and make sure that their bets align. If they're on the other side, they're on the other side. But the thing is we usually have a bunch of bets. So there's not a lot of head-to-head just because that's how it plays out. Today, there's probably going to be a bunch of cappers that are on the opposite side of each other, and that is okay. Just listen to the analysis. Make your own choice if you have to, you know, or flip a coin if you're trying to tail. If people are on opposite sides, I don't know what to tell you. But today, we only got 6 games, and there will be some difference of opinions here. So I'm very excited to get into it. Dexter Pope, man, Medicate Saturday. Let's rock. Dabber and ASU bet. We'll talk about it, man. But definitely Medicate on this Saturday, Dexter. And let's get this thing rolling, Guns. I got the graphics ready today because I only have to have 6 of them. So this should be pretty easy. And I think you put in the chat for me.
Yep.
You wanted to go to Marshall and ULL for the first one, right?
We're going to keep that to the end.
Beautiful. And I want to hear what you have to say on that one because that's the 3 unit banger, ain't it?
That's correct.
Well, how about you tell me which one you want to look at?
All right, let's go to the Mac. I told you, I'm Mr. G5. I'm Gunshin. It ain't the Maction anymore. It's Gunshin. And I've just been absolutely killing the Mac, and I'm going to do it one more time here at Ford Field, Detroit, Michigan. 12 p.m. is the kick, so it's going to be right coming up here in 2 hours. You're looking at these two teams. They're both coming off a nice win streak. Ohio, 5-game win streak, and Miami, Ohio with a 7-game win streak. Both teams are great on the defensive side of the ball when we look at this. Ohio is ranked 16th in opposing scoring, only giving up 19.8 points per game. And Miami, Ohio is ranked 10th in opposing scoring, giving up 17.3 points per game. In their last matchup, Miami, Ohio, since their last matchup, I should say, Miami, Ohio has held their last 5 opponents to 11.2 points per game. So they're actually getting better on the defensive side of the ball. And so is Ohio since meeting up in October. Last 5 conference opponents, Ohio has held them to 10.8 points per game. When we go back to this game in October that I'm alluding to, Miami, Ohio won that game 30-20. The total was set at 42.5, 43.5. On grass, outside, and the line's virtually identical here at Ford Field in a dome in a climate-controlled environment, fast track. So it's a little bit interesting when we look at the total here. But when we break down this game, Ohio had the ball in scoring territory 4 times out of 13, and they led to 3 touchdowns. So they were very efficient when they got to the scoring range. That's kind of an anomaly with a lot of these teams because Ohio is not a good scoring team. But Miami, Ohio, same thing. 5 drives in scoring territory led to 4 touchdowns and a field goal. They capitalized every time they put it into scoring territory. 2 of those drives started in scoring territory, by the way, with 2 interceptions that led to 14 points. Couple outliers that I'm telling you that alluded to why that total went over. The total, like I said, the total is set at 40. I got it at 44.5 right now. That's basically, to me, identical to what it was last time, which kind of tells you a story I think is going to be a low scoring affair here. But I'm going to be looking specifically at the team total here. When we look at the team totals for both totals that are set right now are below their season average, but especially Ohio. Ohio actually averages roughly 29 points per game. And the total set at 21.5, which is 7 to 8 points lower than their season average. And Miami, Ohio, if you want to look at some trends, 6-1 to the under in neutral site games since 2019. So I think we're going to be looking at a low scoring affair here in the MAC championship. But I like the team total here with Ohio team total under 21.5 as the play.
I love the breakdown when it's like, you were just giving facts. There was no bias. And I could tell you were going towards the under when you were talking about the red zone possessions in the last game. You get a team scoring at that. Well, both teams scoring at that percentage in the red zone. When you look at the season numbers, and it's not something that usually happens.
Right.
I think that would be the outlier that pushed that game over. So that makes a ton of sense.
I mean, you look at the scoring on that one too. Like Ohio is 48th in offensive scoring, and Miami, Ohio is 85th in the country in offensive scoring. They don't have tough schedules either. So I just think it's going to be more defensive oriented this go around, as it hit 50 last time. I don't think it's even getting close to 50 today.
Right, man. One time, I want to hear your thoughts here. Shout out to my guy Troy Torrance dropping in the chat. He said Daby got Texas too. We'll talk, man. I'm not on Texas here. I don't have anything there, but we'll talk about it. But our guy Troy said he's got Miami, Ohio, Penn State, and he's walking with Wine Time on ASU. So we got an under here. Wine Time, did you have any action on this game on a side or a total?
I only had to lean towards the under in this one. And if you're looking at the wind gusts right now, they're up to 25 miles per hour around the game time. Most likely this game.
It's in a dome.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is in Detroit. Okay, gotcha. Neutral site. Okay. With that being said, then I was going to say this. I don't trust the weather in MAC action anyways, because I've been doing that this year. When I see wind gusts 25, 30 miles per hour, it always seems to somehow go over. It's MAC action, man. These guys are explosive plays down the field. These guys don't move the ball methodically. You see punt return touchdowns. You see pick sixes. You're going to see explosive plays most likely. I got nothing in this one. This is probably the most boring game on the card. I didn't even really cap this game, to be honest. We just got too much action.
What are you talking about? This is the best game on the card. Are you kidding me? MAC championship? Come on. You know what they're going to do in that stadium? Actually, you brought it. They're going to bring in like some big win fans to simulate what an actual MAC game is like. So when you're seeing kicks go backwards, that's what we're going to be seeing here in Ford Field.
Kicks go
backwards. Yeah, I just can't trust unders in MAC action ever. I've gotten burned too many times this year on them.
Hey, our guy Kyle would like to know what your lean on a side is if you have one. Wine Time.
Miami, Ohio, most likely.
Yeah. If they're a favorite, just take them on the money line.
Game I didn't even really cap because I knew I wasn't going to have a play in this game.
Hell, especially if you're risking $7,500, you might as well just take that money line. But either way, I'm going to be rooting for you.
Yeah, what a sweat at noon that guy has. 75. He's trying to pay for like 6 months of rent or 3 months of mortgage or something like that. Jesus. I don't. That's too early for me to sweat that
that's
out.
Like 2 months of rent out here, Guns. Goddamn.
And not that I pocket watch or anything, but I've seen his tickets. Like, he really does make those big bets. Shout out to our guy Kyle, man. Big time better. Good to have you back in here, man. Speaking of back in here, we got over 120, about 130 people already. We're right into the show. Just 15 minutes already. 130 people. If you guys can hit the like button and share it. Guns has hit 2 3-unit bangers in a row, back-to-back weeks. Let's get people in here so we can all fuck the bookies together before we get to his 3-unit banger. Share it. We got to get everyone in here, man. Tell everybody, your granny, your weed dealer, your enemy, your friend. It don't matter. Get them in here. But we move on. We're going to keep it rolling. We might come back to this game, guys. We got other cappers coming in. And if other cappers want to talk about a game, we're going to come back to it. But for now, we're going to keep it rolling. So what's the next one, Guns?
Yeah, let's go with, some of the smaller conferences here. And I'm talking about the SEC. Let's talk about Georgia versus Texas, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, 4 p.m. Standalone game. Basically, no other college game is going to be going on when this one is happening. But you have two teams that have motivation to come into this game. Texas, of course, wants to get the bye, and Georgia just wants to get into the college football playoff. But what you got to know about Georgia, they're a pass-oriented team. They're 20th in pass play percentage, and they're 19th in pass attempts per game, and they're also 9th in passing yards per game. So you know exactly what they're going to be doing. The weak spot, though, for Georgia is their INTs. They're ranked 81st in INT thrown percentage this season. So maybe going to be looking for some turnover elements here with the Texas defense that is one of the best in the country. They're second in opposing scoring, second in opposing yards per game, first in opposing yards per play, second in opposing red zone scoring percentage. But when we saw these two teams match up in early, I think it was right after the Red River rivalry game, right? These two teams played. Both put up under 300 yards of total offense in that game, and the scoring outcome was 30-15, with Georgia putting up 30. And that was more on a bad first half for Texas. They went down 23-0 early in the game, and they just couldn't climb out of that hole. UGA had 4 drives in the first half that started at the Texas 34 or less, off 2 fumbles, an INT, and a punt return that led to 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. There's 20 points there on sheer outliers, which kind of predicated to the outcome of that game. But really, Georgia, to me, unimpressive when they go outside of Athens, Georgia, their home field, versus conference opponents this season, other than the Texas game, of course. A 1-point win versus Kentucky. 7-point win versus Bama. These are all road games, by the way. An 18-point loss versus Ole Miss. 14-point win non-cover versus Florida on a neutral site. And I'm just going sheer conference games here. I'm not going to talk about the Clemson one. UGA is 1-4 ATS versus conference opponents away from home this season. They've lost the yardage battle in 3 of those games. And they haven't played outside their home stadium in a month. So they're a little bit rusty on this one. Granted, it's going to be a neutral field here. But what I like to point out here is Texas coming off the Red River rivalry. Now, that game, whether you talk about Oklahoma or not and how bad they are, that's still a big game for Texas. And every time they play that game, they go into their next game and absolutely lay an egg. They are 1-5 ATS after playing Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry historically. So that is another reason why going up against Georgia, they just got thumped right off the bat in the first half. So I'm going to be looking at this from a split here, folks. I think Texas, who is one of the high flying, they like to come out early and they like to score early, it's going to be what they're going to be attempting to do here versus UGA. And UGA historically are slow starting teams. They're not a good first half team. Granted, they put up 23 on Texas in the first half when they played each other in October, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's an outlier here, and I gave you the outliers of why that happened. I think Texas comes out swinging here, and it's going to happen in the first half. Give me Texas minus 1.5 first half as the play.
So I tell you what, that first game, man, I went into it saying the big thing is Beck's got to protect the football against Texas, because I was on Georgia first half in that first game, and he didn't. He threw 3 interceptions, but guess what? Texas turned the football over too. That was an ugly football game by both teams. It was it was a defensive struggle, or I was going to say defensive struggle. I mean, outside of the turnovers, both teams struggled on both sides of the field. It was an ugly game. So I'm ready to see this one. Wine Time, I want to hear what you think. Hey, shout out to the chat really quick. Our guy Sharky in there. I know he said he likes Texas first half also. And him and Dave made a good point, man. I got to watch what I'm saying. I guess that whole fuck the bookie comment is a little gay. So there probably are some female bookies, but oops, I wasn't thinking about that. Anyway, Wine Time, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, I broke this game down on Wednesday with Jose, man. It's on posted on PSR. A little quick breakdown for you guys right now. I mean, Georgia, ETN's questionable going into this one. They're running back. They got Nate Frazier as well, the true freshman right out here from Mater Dei. Kid's pretty much the number 1 guy over there right now. This run game is non-existent, though. This Georgia team is just – I mean, these are 2 teams that are going in completely opposite directions right now. Georgia, they've been struggling the last couple of weeks. I mean, if you watch that game against Georgia Tech, man, they should have lost that game outright.
That's a good point, too. They're coming off an 8 overtime game, and then they have to go and bring the effort in. Right off the bat, they're going to be exhausted.
Yeah, and it's a neutral site game. I get it. It's going to be mostly Georgia fans there because it's in Atlanta. I just think both these teams are heading in opposite directions. I think Texas has all the momentum right now. Yeah, they didn't look that great against A&M last week. We went live for that game. I was actually really disappointed in that game. One of the worst games I've seen all year long. But that defense, man, I mean, you can't – I mean, what else can you say? This defense from Texas is one of the best in the nation right now. I think they're going to be able to stop Georgia from running the ball. I mean, if you're going to give me between Quentin Ewers and Carson Beck here, I'm going to take Ewers all day long. Carson Picks, man, that guy, I don't trust that guy with 10-foot pole, man. I'm on Texas money line. I got it on them minus 130 earlier this week. It's mostly at minus 150 at all spots right now, and tickets are kind of split right now. It's 55-45. I just think I think Texas is the better team here. And I saw Troy mention in the chat, Georgia getting ready for the playoffs. That's what they got to do, man, because they're not going to get this win here. They got to make sure they get past the first round in the playoffs, honestly, because I have not been impressed by this Georgia team this year. This is a team that's heading in the wrong direction going into next season. I think college football is a new wave coming up, and I think Kirby Smart's going to get I don't know. We'll see what happens here in this game, and we'll see if they make a little run. But I don't believe in this Georgia team. I believe in this Texas team. Give me Texas on the money line.
Hook 'em.
Not to be that guy. Hold on. First off, let me shout out our guy Gorgon dropping the $2 dono, man. Like I always say, they add up, dude. He drops $2 donos all the time, and it adds up, man. And he's a member, so shout out to you, man, for the $2 dono and being a member. Thank you to all the members. You keep this channel alive. Hit that join button in the description if you like what we do and you want to support us, because like we always say, we don't sell you anything. It's just if you want to support us, support us. So thank you. He dropped a ASU, Boise money line, SMU, Oregon money line, and Georgia +3. So good shit on that, Boise. You got that one, my dude. Anyways, I want to say this, and not to be like I said, not to be that guy, but sometimes devil's advocate is fun to play. I still think Georgia is an elite football team, and I keep hearing it. People saying, "Oh, Georgia ain't Georgia." No, they're not. Okay, college football has changed. Alabama is not Alabama anymore, and Georgia is not Georgia like we're used to. But they are still two teams that you do not want to play against if you have the option, right?
Oh yeah.
Texas. So I just want to like make that kind of point where I'm saying, like, I agree, Wine Time. I understand how you're saying they're trending down, but I don't look at it as like this program's about to fall off a ledge or anything like that. I mean, it's still Georgia football. They're still 5th in the nation here, playing for a SEC championship. Win or lose, they're still going, to the playoffs. I mean, this is still a very, very good football team. Just Georgia standards are here, and we're talking about being right here this year. But
it's the battle of the Saban coordinators too. Sarkisian,
right,
and I think they might have been on the same championship team, right? I can't remember that. Kirby Smart
I think,
and
no,
Sarkisian.
I don't think so. I think they're like.
Or was it Kiffin? I don't know. It's a carousel over there with the coordinators.
Well, so I'll say this about Sarkisian. So shout out to Texas for what they're doing this year. Until this year, man, I wouldn't back that guy in a full game bet if it was your money, Guns. If it was your money, I'm still not betting Sarkisian full game. That was last year and the year before, though. First half you were fine, but Texas, I mean, they were notorious for blowing 10-point leads, 13-point leads at half. But it's a new team for Sarkisian, so shout out to him. Anyways, I'll digress and keep this moving. Our guy Kyle dropping the $9.99 dono. He said, "Thank you, boys. Appreciate the hard work. Go Ohio money line." Or Miami, Ohio money line. Dude, I'm telling you, you made that game interesting for me, Kyle. I really wasn't going to be tuned into it, but then I got an under from my guy Guns, and I got Miami, Ohio from you. So now I'm ready for it. All right, Guns, you went to the smaller conference. Now what do you want to look at after this?
Yeah, let's go with another lackluster small conference. Money's in the crumbs with Ohio State and Arizona State at A&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Jerry's World, 12 p.m. Another climate-controlled environment type of situation here. And when you look at these two teams, it's very simple. Arizona State can run the ball. They're 13th in rush play percentage, 45th in rushing yards per carry, and they're 21st in the country in rushing yards per game. And they're going against an Iowa State team that is vulnerable against the run. 112th in opposing rushing yards per carry and 94th in the country in opposing yards per game. Iowa State's strength on the defensive side is defending the pass. They're one of the best defense. Their secondary is absolutely elite. Second in opposing completion rate. 16th in opposing pass yards per play, 4th in opposing pass yards per game, and they're 6th in the country in getting INTs. So great stats, which is kind of remarkable because they're 124th in getting to the quarterback this season. So it's all their secondary. They have a great coverage there. And I think when we look at Arizona State, they're going to be without one of their big weapons in the passing game. Jordan Tyson not going to be in this game. He has 1,100 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns for them this season. So everything's going to be run through one guy. It's going to be Scatabo. He's going to be absolutely all over the place. I call him the Scat Man. So let's when we look at this game, it's going to be very run heavy. When we talk about run heavy oriented teams, we talk about clock killing. I think this is going to be a low scoring affair, knowing that Arizona State is going to be virtually one dimensional here, and they can be versus this Iowa State team, and they probably want to be, knowing that that secondary is elite and they're going to be down one of their best receivers. So I think this is going to be a low scoring affair here in Jerry's world. Iowa State, Arizona State under, and I got the worst of the number. I think it's 50.5 right now. Still good. I got 49.5, but that's where I'm going to go with Iowa State, Arizona State under the total.
I thought we were getting Iowa State backstage when I saw you pull up with the hat. But then you told me it was the under, man.
It's the prestige, a little illusion.
I can't wait to
go in one direction, I go another.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the hat matches for the game, so I like it. I can't wait to hit this even more. But before we do, man, you guys blessing the action. What a special day to be here with you guys, man. You don't understand. Like, I say this a lot, but we don't have a channel without you guys coming through. Pipe Layer gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Thank you, Pipe Layer. You're the man. Much love. My guy Peter coming in, dropping a $9.99 super sticker. Dude, you guys are making today special. Like I said, we're going to win, and then win some more, man. Much love to you guys, everybody in the chat. Y'all fucking rock, man. We don't got a show without you, so thank you. 170 plus people with us right now, too. Let's get it up to over 200 before we get that 3-unit banger from our guy Guns here. He is 2-0 on the last two. That would be, up about 6 units on him. So shout out to you, Guns. But I'll keep this moving. Wine time. I know you were big on Arizona State, and then backstage you told me you were a little bit uncomfortable with this game now. As some of the chat is saying, Iowa State has gone from a dog to a favorite now.
-1, yeah.
Have they actually gone to a favorite, or is it just
now a -1 at most books?
Wow.
I tell you, Tyson's not having him is gonna that's a killer to them. And even though Iowa State is not great at defending the run, when they can just load the box and just make sure they focus on Scatabo, Skataboo, whatever his name is, Skibidi-bop-bop-bop-a-boop. I don't know, but I think they're going to be able to stop the run here and get a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah, that's what Iowa State's going to have to do. I mean, they're not good against the run by any means. I expect ASU to be running the ball. I mean, they run the ball at a 60% rate. It's top 15 in the nation. Why would you not when you have one of the best running backs in the Big 12 in college football? I mean, right now it's him and Devin Neal in that Big 12. You put either of those guys on Boise State right now, I guarantee you they have more yards than Genty. I'm just saying, you look at this guy Scatabo run, man. It takes 4 or 5 guys to tackle this guy down. He doesn't go down first contact. He moves his legs constantly. This is a big dude, guys. He's also really athletic too. A lot of pass out of the backfield. Me and Guns were talking about it backstage. What does Levitt like to do? He likes to get the ball in his playmakers, Tyson and him. Tyson's going to be out for this one. I do think it's a big loss. Not necessarily in this game because I didn't expect ASU to attack the secondary anyway. It's a very disciplined secondary that Campbell's got over there. A lot of experience in that secondary. You don't want to test these guys. These guys are going to go one-on-one, and you don't want to test them. They're going to play man coverage against you, and they're good at that. On the other hand, I mean, yeah, they could load the box, but like I said, you're going to need 4 or 5 guys to tackle this guy down 30 to 35 times a game. I mean, don't be surprised if we see Scatabo get 35 to 40 carries in this game, guys. That's what we're most likely going to see. They're going to get the ball. I mean, Dillingham talks about get the ball in the hand of his playmakers, let them work in open space. I mean, if you even ask me right now who I'd rather have as my head coach, I'm taking Kenny Dillingham any day of the week over. I mean, not saying no knock on Campbell. Campbell's a great coach, and that's how much respect I have for Kenny Dillingham, what he's brought to this program. 3-9 last year. They're going to compete for a national championship this year, at least the playoffs. I got them, 3 weeks ago on Jose's show, plus 350 to win the Big 12. I have the money line in this game. But guys, I mean, these are the spots I don't like. I like beating the lines because if I beat the line movement, I don't care if I win, if I lose. As long as I beat the closing line, I beat the books. If you ask me, things will happen between the numbers. But with that being said here, Iowa State has gone to a -1. If I had not bet this game going into today, I would not take Arizona State +1 right now. I was on them earlier in the week. I anticipated, the public being on them. The public is on them heavy, and they're dropping that line. Guns talked about it. Tyson's out. There's no way he moves the line 3.5 points, though. The books are moving this line because they want more ASU money. If you haven't taken this game, I'm not saying take ASU now. I got in them 2 units earlier in the week, and I'm going to be rooting for them today, but I'm not going to give them out on the show right now.
Yeah, but what about plus a half point in the first half?
I mean, you can. I mean, guys, this is an official bet for me. I gave it out on my X. You know what I'm saying? I gave it out with Jose earlier this week. But if you haven't bet in this game, if you've been telling me, I mean, we're going to ride this out. I think we're on the right side, but I don't like seeing a dog go to a favorite.
So I'm such a degenerate. As soon as you guys said dog to favorite, my head was like, so you're telling me I can get plus points in the first half now?
So you're saying there's a chance.
All right. So Wine Time is on Arizona State, but he does not want to make it official here on the show.
You can make it official. I mean, it's official on my Twitter. Fuck it. Give me money line. They're minus 105 right now. Give it to me.
All right. Money line minus 105. And then Guns has the under in this one.
Yeah, 49.5. It's 50.5 now. So
look at that, guys. Well. We are only 30 minutes into this show, and you already got team total under 21.5 for Ohio. You got Texas first half minus 1.5. You got the was it minus 1.5? Was that right?
Yeah, that's correct on the first half. Correct.
Okay. Then you got the under in this game right here from our guy Guns, the Iowa State, Arizona State under, and then we got Wine Time on the money line with ASU. I'm not gonna lie, man. I might take that first half plus a half a point. Maybe I might. I'll let you guys know for sure by the end of the show because this is an early kick. So I'll have an answer. Shout out to my guy Nasty Nate rolling in the chat. He said one last time, I'm late. Start it over for me. I promise. Last time. I love it. World does revolve around you, Nate. Exactly. I love the mindset, my dude. Mo Harris, everybody, man. I like to get to all you guys. Steve G, Ron Lofton in the chat. Ron, let me know what you're betting today, man. Gravy Bets. Good to see you, man. Let's roll. Guns. What's the next one we're looking at?
All right, we're going to the 3-unit banger. Let's go, boys. Get it pumped up here. And we're going to the gun belt. That's right. We're going to the fun belt. We're going to the Sun Belt. And I call this the gun belt because I own the Sun Belt. If everybody knows, I catch these tickets left and right. And we have a doozer here today with Marshall going against Louisiana Cajun Field with a little bit of gumbo and some bayou in Lafayette, Louisiana. We got Marshall 9-3 on the year going against a ULL team that is 10-2 on the year. And ULL can beat you in multiple ways. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. Their rush offense is 20th in rushing yards per play and 32nd in rushing yards per game. And the pass offense is good as well. 8th in the country in pass completion percentage, 8th in passing yards per play, and 33rd in pass yards per game. Now, if you're going to beat Marshall, all you got to do is run the ball. They're 99th in opposing rush yards per carry, 5.2, and 113th in opposing rush yards per game. So situationally, I think Louisiana is going to be running the ball a lot in this game. But look where Marshall is coming from. This is going to be their 3rd road game in a row. They played ODU and they played JMU on the road to get to this game. And they lost the yardage battle in both of those games, 44 to ODU. 121 to JMU. And in their last game, they're coming off a double overtime game to get into this championship game versus JMU. So they're going to be a little bit gassed coming in here, in my opinion. On the other side, though, situationally, this works for Louisiana because they're coming off a 3-game home stretch, and then they had a road game versus UL Monroe, which I think is right up the road from them. So they really haven't traveled in 5 weeks. 4 home games in 5 weeks and that road game. So they are comfortable in their environment at Cajun Field. And also look where ULL is, 3-1 ATS when they're a single-digit favorite this season. And I just think Marshall's just going to be gassed out in this game. 3 road games in 4 weeks, coming off a back-to-back as well. And then ULL just comfortable at home, eating gumbo, staying warm in Cajun Field. I think it's going to be rocking here. And the number has peaked up to 5. It's 5 right now, I guess. 5.5, depending on the books. I still got it at 5.5. I think ULL rolls here today. Give me the Raging Cages minus 5.5 for a 3-unit bang, bang, bang.
I tell you what, I'm on it. I'll bet it with you. I won't make it official because that would be a shitty thing to do, to hear Guns say 3-unit banger and then be like, yeah, I'll make it official too. But I'm betting. I'm betting it 100%. I'm with my guy Guns. You guys in the chat, if you like to tail the bets that I make, I'm betting ULL right there, -5.5 with Guns. You got 3 units on it. I'll probably have 150 on it this time.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Wine time thoughts here.
Yeah, man, I had to lean towards Louisiana looking at this game. I was on Marshall last week plus the 3. I took them live at the second half. Cashed out good on them guys, and I'm not going to back them again this week. I think it's a letdown spot. Guns touch on it. They're on the road the last couple weeks, traveling here to Louisiana for the championship. This line's only been moving up. I believe this opened up at like a 3 or 3.5, and we're seeing 5.5s everywhere now. They're most likely going to smack these guys in the face. I'm going to throw a little something on this because it's a 3-unit banger, and I definitely agree with everything he just said about this game. So I have a lean towards Louisiana as well.
Beautiful, man. So Guns, even though we only had 6 games, came up with 4 bets for us again today, including a 3-unit banger. We got the team total under 21.5 for Ohio in the first game, a little bit of action. And then we moved to the smaller conference, the SEC. You got Texas first half -1.5. Then you got the under in the Arizona State, Iowa State game. And then you got ULL -5.5 right here, taking the Cajuns.
That's
3
right.
Unit, 3 unit.
3-unit banger.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's make it 3 in a row on the 3 units.
Yeah, 3 in a row and 3-0, right? You're 2-0?
I think since I started doing the 3-unit bangers, I might be 3-0.
Okay, I thought so because you did 2 in a row, but 3 total. Well, shit, there you go. Let's make it 4-0 on the season. Guns, what beautiful work you've done, man. What a beautiful bastard you are. Everybody in the chat, man. Just Jay. I'm seeing names that I haven't seen in the chat before, too. We're growing, Guns. It's because you're throwing 3-unit bangers that are cashing at the chat, man. Thank you so much for everything you've done this year on this show. This ain't the end. It might be the end of this quote-unquote tailgate, but it ain't the end, Guns. We'll be capping again, doing some college basketball together. Can you let the chat know where they can find you and what you got going on, man?
That's right. You can find me on all social media platforms at GunsPicks, and that is TikTok, X, Instagram, your sister's ass, and all that other places. But I got a show Saturday mornings with GunsPicks on the GunsPicks channel on YouTube. Go check that out. 11 a.m. We're going to do a fatal 4-way with 3 guests, and we're just going to break down the entire slate here, up and down the board. We're going to give you our plays, our leans, and whatever you want on that game. So go check it out. It's a vibe. It's dad rock, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Appreciate you. Appreciate this show, and we've been killing it all year, and we're going to keep killing it all the way through both seasons. So one more time for the fellas, let's cash some tickets, let's dominate the board, and as always, let's keep dancing.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
My guy.
Shout out to Guns, man. Let me move this graphic, and I'm going to go ahead and bring Wine Time. I'm going to let you go next because the timing, I don't know what your timing is, so I'm going to let you go next, but I want to bring these 2 guys up because I don't like them sitting back there waiting on us. And I'm excited to have them up here with us. First guy that I'm going to bring up, you see him every day in the chat. Every single day he's in there. Usually it's the first comment dropping his action. He recaps it honestly. He brings money to you guys. I know tons of people who have tailed the Stacks play of the day and made a lot of money. Oh, I got graphics for both of these intros. Hell yeah. But I'm bringing him up here, man. Somebody who's quickly becoming a homie of mine, a good friend, text back and forth, talk about what we're betting on, early too. I can tell he doesn't sleep. He's like me. We're no sleep gang right here. But let me get my dude up here one time. Stacks. Shout out to Justin.
Stacks.
Stacks.
What up, Justin?
What up, man?
One time, Daby, how you?
Good, man. I'm glad to have you back up here. I know last weekend was a tough one, man, so I'm glad we made it through, and I'm glad to have you back up here, man. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm all right. A little tired, like you said. Sleep. I don't even know what that is.
Right? That ain't a part of our schedules. I get
No,
you.
definitely not. Especially not a Friday night. All these basketball games.
We got college basketball, college football. I mean, it's too much. So I'm in the same boat. But like I said, I'm gonna bring both these guys up here. We thought last week was the last episode, guys, but it wasn't. So lucky for you, you might get one last shot to cash another 2-unit parlay. You'll definitely get a shot to cash some more bets with my guy. I think 9-3 last week is what Kong went. I know the 2-unit parlay didn't cash, but 9-3 on straights bets. So another absolute dominant weekend from him. But I love the background. I can already see it. Let's get our guy up here. Shout out Kong's Clips. Kong, what up?
What up, Kong?
Muted. You'll mute.
Top of the morning to you, fellas.
Yes,
There
sir.
we go. There we go. We got you now. I'm gonna let wine time go, guys. If you and Justin aren't in a hurry, Kong, I'm gonna let you guys hang with me for a bit. So I'm gonna let wine time hit his best bets, and then I'll let you guys hit y'all's. Okay.
All good.
Wine time. What do you want to look at here first?
Yeah, let's go to the ACC title game, Cab.
Hell yeah. Let me pull this up. Where did my
Charlotte, North Carolina.
There we go. Clemson, not a surprise seeing in this game. SMU, on the other hand, surprising a lot of people. Not only in this game, higher ranked than Clemson, probably a better football team than Clemson. Very interesting matchup here, though. What's your thoughts, Wine Time?
Yeah, this is a place that Clemson is very used to. Dabo Swinney's been in the spot, most of his career. SMU, on the other hand, they're newer to this conference. Shout out to Rhett Lashley, man. I mean, I talk about this guy every time I talk about SMU. I remember him being the offensive coordinator at Auburn in 2015, being one of the youngest offensive coordinators out there. And, he's just been kind of working his way around good minds over the years, and he landed a job. And, he brought in his guys here to SMU, a team that, is never really good, and he's turned this team into a potential national title contender. I mean, I've been on SMU all year. I was on there over 7.5 wins, cashed earlier in the season. Early on in the season, guys, they struggled. The first couple games, they weren't looking like the team I had expectations going into the season. With that being said, they made that change at quarterback. Very surprising change at quarterback. Went from Preston Stone to Kevin Jennings, true sophomore. Dynamic quarterback and get it done with his legs and through the air. This guy's got a cannon when he has protection. And Rhett Lashley, this is just the perfect quarterback for his system that he runs over there. And what do they like to do? They like to run and gun, man. These guys like to go up and down that field and see how many points they can score on you. And they're not afraid to do that. They're not going to take their foot off the gas ever. And this is the biggest game of Rhett Lashley's career, being the ACC title game. They lose this game, I don't know if they have a shot at the playoffs because their schedule is insanely weak and the committee doesn't have a lot of respect for the ACC right now. I think they belong there regardless. With that being said, I don't think they want to take any chances in this one. Clemson, realistically, this should have been SMU Miami. It would have been a lot better of a game if you ask me. It would have been probably a total of 100 points scored in that game.
That would have been 72 at least, right?
Yeah, that would have been nuts. Like that would have been such a fun ACC title game. But I mean, Clemson's still good. They blew the game they blew that game against South Carolina, man. Shout out to Sellers over there, man. That guy's dynamic on the ground, just dynamic, a game changer. And what can Kevin Jennings do? Similar things to him. If not, he might even be a better athlete. They don't use him necessarily as much, but don't be surprised to see him use his legs often in this game. Give me SMU on the money line here, guys. I got them in minus 125 earlier in the week. I think they have all the momentum going into this one. Yeah, Clemson. Don't get me wrong, they deserve to be here. They're a good football team, but I mean, they lost their last game. The only reason they're here is because Miami lost to Syracuse. I think SMU's the better team. They have the momentum, and they're fighting for something bigger here, and they have a shot to make some noise in this college football playoff. I know they don't have necessarily the personnel that Clemson has. I mean, personnel-wise, Clemson has the better athletes. This isn't even close, guys. I'm going to take Rhett Lashley, his offense, over Dabo Swinney, though, in this matchup here. Yeah, give me SMU all day long. I love this play, guys. It's the most excited game I'm looking forward to all day.
I love it. If you heard me laugh when you said you think they're going to make noise in the playoffs, I couldn't help it. Stacks, your reaction made me laugh. I could see it. I can read it. And I'm excited to hear what you got to say about Georgia, Texas also. But yeah, SMU here. I'm with you. Wine time. I agree with everything you said. I'm with you. What about you guys? Stacks, you got any thoughts on this one?
I agree with him, kinda, and I disagree with him. I do think SMU wins this game, absolutely. But I think Clemson overrated. I think the only thing I'm worried about, he is right. Dabo used to this. Seems like he does this every year, but not this year. However, SMU going in the playoffs and making noise.
I like their offense, man. I like Rhett Lashley, what he's doing over there, like coaching-wise. I know they don't have the personnel necessarily. Like you look at that team, you look them down the depth chart, you're like, where are the 4-star, where are the 5-star guys? They're just not there. But he does what he does with the personnel around him. And he kind of hit the portal 2 years ago, and he didn't even hit the portal this last year. These are all guys that have been with this program for a while. And they're out there playing for him. Don't get me wrong. SMU's had a weak schedule. I definitely get what you're saying, Justin.
That's my only problem. The schedule.
The schedule's been weak for sure. 100%.
And there's going to be some teams in the playoffs they could jump on, but like, I don't know. Maybe they see Boise somehow. I can't wait till Boise get in the playoff.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup for sure. I'm really looking forward to this game, man. This is the night game. This and the Oregon-Penn State game are going to be on, so it's going to be hard not to have my eyes on both TVs, but this is the game I'm most excited for. Speaking
of being excited, man, I just got a DM from somebody asking me, hey, Cab, can I have the last spot to give out my best bet? Of course you can, man. And I'm not going to say who it is. I'll wait till they get here. I see my guy Dutch Boy Fresh in the chat. Also, my co-host of Medicaid Mondays, man. Shout out to you, Dutch. He said he's blasting arms and shoulders. I think he's got a bet for you guys. Maybe. Don't put me on the spot, but I think he's coming on also. Dude, I'm pumped, man. We got over 220 people rocking with us in the chat right now, and we got more best bets coming, man. Thank you guys for making this so exciting. Shark, man, in the chat rolling with us also. Shout out to my guy Shark. Kong, did you have thoughts or bets on this game?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
I'm on SMU. I'll be with you one time. A little worried about Clemson's defense. We'll see if they step up. We know they've been here many times, but I do think SMU. I do think SMU gets the W here. I did lay the points, and I also have some SMU money line. So yeah, I love it. Shout out to the chat. Good morning, everybody. I was up late last night watching the games, watching my Army Black Knights do work. I hope everybody got the bet I dropped earlier in the week for Bryson Daly to have his 3 touchdowns this week.
Yeah, he was eating.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Kong's texting me 3+ touch. I almost texted back. Fuck you. I'm on Tulane. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't text you that back. But I got your text last night. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's
good. I tried to tell you about Army. I said, yeah, you did.
It's good
all year and then listen.
It's good if you don't get scared off by the odds you see. Sometimes you'll have a bet in your head, right? And you'll go look at the odds for it, and the odds just don't seem right at all. And it's like, oh shit, am I on the wrong side here? Plus 1,200 for Bryson Daly to get his 3 touchdowns.
That's crazy, man.
Beautiful
good cash right there. Beautiful cash. Our guy, Super True Story G, said Clemson lost to everybody with a heartbeat. That's true, man. That is true. I mean, who did Clemson beat this year, man? They beat up on some bad teams, but tell me one good football team that they beat, and do not say Pittsburgh.
The only thing about that is, you see what Matty Ice wrote?
Shout out to our guy Taint. Also, Matty Ice. If we got Taint today, let us know, man. He said, giving a dead team a heartbeat, be careful with SMU. I get it. I do. I just, man, I hate how slow developing Clemson's plays are, man. It reminds me of like Jimbo Fisher's offense. Like, it's like everything with Dabo is so slow developing, and I can't stand it. It's just like old football. I don't know how else to say it. It reminds me of old football. It's not the quick, pop passes and things like that you'll see from,
I lost my confidence.
Yeah.
I ain't confident in SMU no more.
What do you say, Justin?
I'm not confident in SMU no more.
You're not?
Nah. I was going to bet it. I was never betting it. I just liked it. But okay. I don't know. Everybody seeming like SMU. That'll never go well.
I feel about Texas. That's why I want to hear what you got to say about Georgia. I swear to God, everybody and their dogs on Texas. But then Wine Time read the numbers and he said like 45-55. I thought for sure it would have been more on Texas.
Did you guys check the money line on the Texas game for cash?
That's something we probably need
to check it right now. Yeah, 83% of money, 88% of bets.
83% of the money on Texas?
On the money line.
Dang. Wow. Hey, shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford. I don't have your graphic, Ron, or I would run it right now. But he said NCAA football play of the day is Texas. Shout out to our guy right there, Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play of the day. Much love to you, Ron. We got Matty Ice. We got Taint. We got Ron Crawford. We got Stacks on stage with us. Kongs, Dutch is in the chat. Wine Time's here. I mean, damn, it don't get much better than this. And I say that it looks like it can get a little bit better because we got somebody backstage who has been rocking with us all year, and he's usually here right now with us. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him up on stage with us. We were lonely last week without him. We missed him last week. Glad to have him back this week. If you haven't subscribed to his Moose Dive, you're missing out. The thing has just tons and tons. Yeah, Hongs gets it. Everybody put the antlers up. Let's go ahead and bring him on up here with us. First time this year we've had 5 people on stage, but for you, Moose, we'll make it happen. Shout out Moose Money Bets. What up, Moose?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Thank you. I apologize for being tardy. My mom couldn't get me onto school on time. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm glad to be here. I'm very glad to be here.
Hell yeah, Moose. Glad to have you up here with us, man. Glad to have you back. I missed you last week, man. Like NJ Stryker said, all-star lineup. So we got SMU. We got Kong on SMU. We got Wine Tom on SMU. Moose, since there's only 6 games, if we want to just keep it rolling, you can just hit your best bets at the end. Today'll be easier. So anything you missed, we'll come back to it. Wine Time, what's next?
I broke down all my games today. I got another 5 minutes though, so I'll stick around because I want to hear what these 3 cappers have to say about some of these games we just talked about. Honestly,
beautiful. Then I will let you hit this one, Moose. Wine Time, real quick. So ASU money line, SMU minus 2.5. What else did you have here today with this one?
Yeah.
If that's it, that's cool. I'm just double checking.
No, I just blanked right there. Texas money line, you got that?
Okay, Texas money line.
Yeah, and just that.
Beautiful. Well, 3 bets on the
Penn State game too, but I guess we could talk about Oregon Penn State after this once Moose touches on this.
Yeah, I'd love to hit that game. Moose, did you have a bet in this game or thoughts on this one?
I mean, I have a bet in every one of the games. So
okay,
I did find something, and I am on SMU here. A lot of it is just about the fact that I kind of think that SMU is legitimately the better team here. Clemson, yeah, they're good, but this is not the Clemson team that we've seen from Dabo in the years past, where they have just NFL prospects all over the place. I mean, Maffa is legit, but when Maffa faces bigger run defenses, specifically bigger defensive lines, he's had some issues. I mean, we just saw that last week against South Carolina when you had a bigger rush defense that was going up against him. He didn't perform as well. And SMU is not to the caliber that South Carolina is, but SMU is still a solid defense. They have some bigger guys in the interior. So I would expect him to be a little bit more towards what we saw against South Carolina versus what we see against a lot of the other smaller teams or the other smaller lines that he has faced. And quite frankly, I think the SMU offense is just a little bit too much for Clemson to handle, specifically because we saw what Sellers was able to do as a mobile guy running around. And Clemson hasn't really seen a lot of the mobile quarterbacks. And when you see them or when they face them, they faced Virginia Tech when Virginia Tech wasn't exactly at their full strength. So I kind of think that SMU at full strength, the mobile quarterback, who Jennings has been playing very well. They have a very dynamic offense that involves players from every level in every facet of the game. I mean, you have wide receivers that are leading in rushing. So I like SMU here. I took them full game. I didn't really want to go first half, or Clemson has played pretty well. So full game SMU for me.
Full game SMU. So we got 3 of our guys on SMU. Stacks and me are going to pass on that one. Ron said he wanted the link. I dropped it in the chat, man. And for anybody in the chat, let's make this last day a party. If you got a best bet you want to come out and give out, click that link. I just need to be able to see you on camera. And let's make it happen. Wine Time, do you want to hit that last one, or are we going to run out of time?
Let's do it. No, I got it. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to touch on this one really quick. I'm going to let Wine Time hit it. I want to hear his thoughts. And then when he's got a bounce, all of us will hit on it. So Penn State taking on the number 1 Oregon. This is going to be at home for Oregon. So a little bit of a boost right there. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, this is going to be in Indianapolis, this game. Shout out to Oregon, this team the season that these guys have had this year, man. Being the number 1 team, bringing in the new quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, after losing their quarterback in the first round, who's up for rookie of the year right now over there. The thing is, they just got the personnel over there at Oregon. They got the money to bring in the right athletes to fit their system, and Oregon has plenty of that, man. They got people on the bench, 4 stars that are ready to go at any point. With that being said, man, this Oregon team doing great. Gabriel had a really rough start to the season, was turning the ball over in the red zone a lot in the beginning of the season. He hasn't necessarily been doing that a lot the last couple of games going down the stretch. These guys have been rocking, man. Penn State, kind of been calling them a fraud team all season long, being the number 3 team. And I still probably stand by that in this matchup. I just haven't been super impressed by what I've seen from Penn State. I do like what they're doing defensively. They haven't really put their foot on the gas against any legitimate team. And I believe Kong's actually touched on this earlier this week. Just Franklin, man, in these big time matchups, it just doesn't work out for him for some reason. Whenever he gets the big games, he just always comes up short. And that might be the case here. I'm on the under in this one. I think both teams are going to run the ball and both teams are going to play really good defense. Oregon has really good defense. They got a really good defensive line. Penn State's going to try to get the ball to the do-it-all guy, Tyler Warren. A lot of people were talking about this guy being a potential candidate for the Heisman. Having a really good year. They kind of get the ball to him however they can. Might be a problem for Oregon. We'll see here in this spot. Guys, looking at this, looking at the market, looking at everything in this spot, man, the eye test, it's all Oregon. But looking at the market, man, it just tells me Penn State in this one. I don't have a bet on the side in this, guys. I know my guys are mostly here on Oregon, and I completely understand that. They could beat these guys by 10 to 20 points if they want to, honestly. This is going to be a good game, though, and I think it's going to be tight, and that's why I'm on the under in this one, guys. I got in at the under at – so I get a good number, 49.5, I want to say. Yeah, I got in 49.5. It's 50.5 at some spots right now. Don't really like that it moved, but I do like the under in this spot. I think it's going to be tough for Penn State to score against this Oregon defense. And like I said, this Penn State defense led by Tom Allen over there, he runs a good defense. I like what he's doing over there. I think he's going to cause some problems for Oregon as well. Maybe even potential some red zone turnovers, some of the things we saw in the beginning of the season by Oregon. If Dylan Gabriel doesn't do that, there's no way they shouldn't be able to beat these guys by 10 plus points. It almost looks too easy to be true to me, but I'm going to stay off the side and I'm on the under in this one.
I hear that too easy to be true. I tell you what, ever since I read this comment from Matty Ice, he said, Dab, I have one of my biggest bets of the year today in this game. I got to know, Matty, we got to know what it is. Shit, we got to know, man. I'm very curious of what it is in this game because I line up with what Wine Time said. I just don't like Penn State. And I know everybody's like, oh, this game doesn't really matter for Oregon. They're going to get the home bye regardless of if they win or lose. It's a conference championship game. The fuck do you mean it doesn't matter?
Momentum can swing, too. If they lose this game, momentum is not in their way going into the college football playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, because if you lose to Penn State, well, you're going to play even better teams in the playoffs. Because like we just said, I don't think Penn State's even a top 12 team in my personal opinion. Yes, they should be in the playoffs by like what's happened, but no, talent-wise, I do not think that they are. So that's my thoughts on it. Wrench Mob, I saw you got a bounce, man. Much love, Wrench Mob. Thank you for being here with us every Saturday, man. You've made it special. Guys, I want to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I think One Time has to bounce. Did you want to make the under official on this one, One Time?
Yeah, I gave it on Jose's show earlier this week. I gave it on X. I have a bet on it. Yeah, let's give out the under. Nothing on this side. I mean, by 4 o'clock hits, I might end up putting something on one of these two teams. We'll see. It just depends on how these games go.
There it is. We got it. Tank, same game parlay. We got Oregon money line in the under 60.5 plus 120. Yeah. Biggest bet in NCAA football for me this year. That's what I love to see. Because look, maybe I'm a rat and I took some cheese. I don't know, but I'm on Oregon first half. I'm on Oregon full game. I don't give a fuck. Penn State's not a good good football team. So I got the Ducks here all the way. One time, can you go ahead and plug Boston the Sauce? Let everybody know where they can find you, where you're about to be.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Appreciate you for having me, Cab, man. It's been a blast doing this every Saturday with you, man. I'm glad we were able to do this again this week. My guy Kongs, Justin, Moose, Guns was here earlier. Yeah, it's been a blast doing this, man. You should see me and Moose's conversation throughout the week, man. Just paragraphs on just different shit. We're just, it's just so much fun, dude. We're building a community. We're building a family over here. I love it, man. Love you guys. It's been a blessing doing this with you. I'm sure we're going to be doing this more often, man. We're going to be doing this next year. And, we got a lot more time left, college football left. I mean, we're going through the end of January. Not going to be doing this show, but we still got games to bet, and we'll be giving them out on X. So, yeah, follow me over on X, Wine Time Sports. I'm going to go do Boston the Sauce right now. The Big Ragu, DJ Big Boss is my guy, Big Ragu in the chat right there. Just dropping -6.5 plus 120. But, yeah, looking forward to doing that and looking forward to watch these games, man. Conference championship weekend, man. It doesn't get better than this, man. These are going to be some good games today.
Beautiful One Time, man. Much love, man. Love doing this with you this year, man. Go kill it on Boston the Sauce. Shout out Big Ragu in the chat, man. Two of my favorite college football cappers right there. Big Ragu, Big Boss. And then adding Wine Time to the mix, man, it don't get better than that. Shout out to you guys. Much love. Hey, we got one more person in the wings. I know today's a little different. We're bringing more people on screen than usual, but I love it. Let's make it a party for this last day. And this guy that I'm about to bring on with us, he's been here a lot longer than me, right? He's been a low bagger since before I knew what a low bagger was. He's been bringing winners longer than most of us. So, a real OG in the game, and I love it. I love to learn from him. I love his bets. This is a great chance on a college football champion Saturday to get some winners from him. So let me bring him up here. Our guy, Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day. What up, Ron?
What's going on, baby?
Right.
Hey, man. Good to have you up here, man. Haven't been on screen in a while with you, so I'm glad to have you back up here, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I finished up early, so I came over here and checked you guys out. And I saw you there, and I hit you up. And Justin said it's in the chat, so I said, let me grab that link and join y'all. So, but you don't have my graphic, huh?
It's so like I would have to. It's under Jimmy's. I don't know how to explain it. Like I would have to. I'd lose the background in the game graphics if I ran it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's
in
like
ACDC today, so
dope ass graphic.
Nice. It is a dope graphic.
Rock. Yeah. That's play. Yeah.
We got it anyways.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah, man, I thought I was on an island, man. I thought I was the only one on Texas. It's good to see a lot of other people on Texas today. It reminds me of that game, and Justin probably remember this, with Georgia and Alabama, and everybody's like, yeah, well, Georgia beat them, and then Alabama's favorite. Well, why is Alabama favorite when Georgia just beat them, and vice versa? It kind of reminds me of that. And you, Dab, seeing your A&M team get pushed all over the field last week, but you guys were coming off a tough game at Auburn. I was at that game, freezing my ass off, by the way. It was 34 degrees in Auburn in that 4 overtime game. But looking at that line, man, that Texas line is huge. And this is a revenge game. I know it's in Georgia. But really, if you look at Georgia's, record at Mercedes, it's not any, worse or any better, so it's not really a home field advantage per se as everybody's saying. So I mean, you guys want the +3, you can have it, but I'm taking Texas money line, and that's big for me.
Texas money line for our guy Ron Crawford. Now I went ahead and switched the graphics because I want to hear what our guys have to say. I'm gonna start with you, Justin, because I've seen you sit. You've sat here and took it. You've heard all this Texas love today. Can you tell me something about the Dogs? What are you thinking, man?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I bet Georgia +3 in the money line, but I think we're gonna win. I think it's gonna be stressful. Like y'all should know, I'm all Georgia teams: the Braves, the Falcons, the Hawks. So I don't get much hope. Like the Georgia, they only the ones give me hope, and the Braves. That's it. And I feel like we smashed Texas already in Texas. So now we pretty much at the crib. Like we can't do it again. Like I don't know. Like I ain't go heavy on it. I ain't gonna sit here and Ron Crawford on Texas. That's stressing me out. But I'm on Texas or I'm on Georgia. Like Kirby Smart. This is what we do every year. SEC champ. We don't always win it, but we go every year. We lost last year.
Yeah. So you got the +3 and the money line there.
Absolutely.
Moose, what about you, man? You got any action here? You said you bet every game.
Well, I mean, Justin just talked about Georgia being in the SEC title game, and Georgia has played in the championship game 6 out of the last 7 years, but they've only won 2 of them. Georgia lost last year in 2021. I'm sorry to bring up bad memories here, Justin, but 2021, as I rattle off all your championship losses here, 2019 and 2018. So, yeah, they get there, but their success in the game has not been great. Texas, on the other hand, if you remember when they came out in the playoff game against Washington, I believe it was Washington last year, they looked phenomenal early. I mean, first quarter, first half, they were really stomping them. And all of a sudden, Sarkisian gets into the locker room and has time to think. And sometimes as a coach, if you are going well and you all of a sudden now have time to think, you start thinking poorly. And that's exactly what happened. Georgia has been one of the worst teams in the country in terms of covering first quarter, first half spreads. We saw it just last week against Georgia Tech, where they were not only didn't cover, they lost outright in the first quarter, first half. Texas has been one of the best teams first half, first quarter. So if you're sensing a direction of where I'm going here, yeah. Texas, first half for full unit, -2. Texas first quarter for a full unit -0.5 for +115.
First quarter and first half. You're right there with guns.
Hey, Dad, real quick, can I give him a little pushback?
Of course, but that's what I want.
To your point, we do lose a lot in the SEC. I agree with that. However, you can't really say Texas is SEC. They Big 12 for real. They just got here. This is their first year. Not saying they can't win it because everybody playing today is pretty much their first year. But what I am saying is, it's Alabama in there with Nick Saban. Like, they own us. They always beat us. Every year they beat us. Nick gone. Bama's not Bama. This Texas. Big 12 Texas. We can't call them SEC. This Big 12 Texas right here. And I like my chances. I'm just not confident.
I like my chances. I'm just not confident. I love it. Shout out to our guy Razor in the chat. Yeah, you asked about the pushback. That's what I want, man.
Yeah.
Especially on a day where we only have 6 games. If we all got up here and all bet the same 6 games, that would be lame as shit. I would rather hear different opinions on it. Kong, what about you, man?
All right. So here's my thing, bro. When Georgia played Texas, that defensive line for Georgia wrecked fucking havoc. Yeah. I mean, they made Quinn Ewers look so pedestrian, bro. I don't have a big bet on this game. I don't like where I'm at in this game. I do not like being on the other side of the spreadsheet play of the day. I have Georgia in a parlay.
Okay.
So it's not the 2-unit parlay. Here's what I got. Wasn't going to give this out because, again, the second game, Texas coming out favored. I thought the same thing Ron Crawford said, the Alabama, right? Lose, come out favored over Georgia. It looks a lot like the same shit's going to happen. Texas's first year in the SEC, they've got to see what Georgia has. I just don't know if this Texas O-line is going to be able to hold up. They fought and tried against this Georgia defense and couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. I was on Texas the first time around, and the D-line for Georgia made that game what it was. So I think they might be able to do the same thing again here today. Parlay I got the under 49.5. When they played last time, I was on the first half under. Didn't go my way. A lot of points were put up. So I'm going back at it full game. Under 49.5 full game. Georgia money line. And Oregon first half -1.5.
Ooh. What'd you get? What's the juice on that?
We are looking at a – okay, so there is a profit boost at our friends at FanDuel for the Big Ten and the SEC championship. 25% boost. The odds were +650. If you get in there and use the boost through the link, somebody will drop it in the chat. You get a +812.
Beautiful. So +812 with the boost with our friends over there at you said FanDuel, right?
Yes, sir.
And shout out to them, man. Make sure, guys, if you're moving state to state, find out what legal books you can use and use promo code Pub Sports Radio. Get the free money. Get the match deposit.
Also, if you live on the border of a state, like I do, I live in a tri-state area between Illinois, Kentucky, and Indiana. You can legit go right over the state and open another book and use all their deposit bonuses again.
There you go. Good advice from our guy Kong, man. All right, so we got spreadsheet play of the not spreadsheet play of the day, but you're on Texas, right?
No, it is. It is spreadsheet play of the day.
Okay, so spreadsheet play of the day is Texas. We got Moose on Texas first half. Our guy Guns came in. He was also on Texas first half. Then we got Stacks on Georgia money line and Georgia +3. And then we got Kong. No solo bet on this game, but you got the parlay where you got Georgia money line, the under, and then Oregon first half, right?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. So we got action all over. Let's keep it rolling, boys. Like I said, today's a little different. We got 5 people on screen. We got a lot of voices to be heard, but let's keep it rolling. I guess I'll just go ahead and move to the next one. Stacks, where'd you want to go for college football today?
Miami, Ohio.
Miami, Ohio. Beautiful. Back to the first game where we had Guns give out the team total under on Ohio. What are you looking at this one, Stacks?
Well, Kyle Henley made me feel real comfortable. I'm on Miami Ohio minus 2.5.
I got to write that Kyle Henley in down too. So you got Miami, Ohio, minus 2.5. And then we also got Kyle Henley in with the $7,500 bet on Miami, Ohio.
That's crazy.
Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. Taint. I wrote this down also. He dropped us the Oregon money line in the under 60.5 at plus 120 in that game. He also said to make Georgia official. So he took the points with Georgia. Shout out Matty Ice. But there we go. Miami, Ohio for Stacks. Thoughts on this one, Ron? Do you have any thoughts?
Oh yeah. It's a fast track. Most of these games that we saw last night were on home fields. This one's going to be on a fast track in Detroit, in the Lions field. I think Gabbert throws all over the place. And if you look at Ohio is actually 0-7 in championship games in the MAC. So wow. Give me a Miami, Ohio.
Wow, 0-7. That's a terrible stat. Moose, What about you? Thoughts here?
Yeah, conversely, Miami, Ohio, one of the better teams in the MAC championship. They won last year. So running it back for Miami, Ohio, and I am on Miami, Ohio. Quite frankly, they're just the better rush defense. These are two teams that are going to want to rush the ball. They're going to want to run. So you talk about a fast track. Both teams are going to want to get outside of the tackle box. They can run inside the tackle box, but chances are that they're going to try to utilize their speed as much as possible. Ohio generally tries to use that quarterback option, that quarterback zone read, and Miami, Ohio is just one of the better rush defenses, specifically in the MAC. So I really like the team that if they're going to be rushing the ball all the time for both sides, give me the team that has the better rush defense, and that's Miami, Ohio. So Miami, Ohio for the spread, which I believe I took at got Miami, Ohio at I just took money line. I had it at minus 120, so I got the money line when it was still available.
Beautiful. Anything on this one, Kong?
I moved on Miami. I wasn't going to give it out as a play, but I moved on Miami as well.
Okay, cool.
Oh, geez.
I'm not going to write it down as official, but Miami. So a lot of love for Miami, Ohio there. So let's go Miami, Ohio. I will be rooting big for him, pulling for all you guys. Justin, I know your next stacks is college basketball. I've got a college basketball bet for everyone also, and I think Ron does too. Let's do that at the end when we all recap. Let's hit those basketball bets. Let's hit everyone's best bets in football here. Finish those up. Ron, did you have any of the other games that you wanted us to put on the football slate before we move?
Yeah, I'm not big on this one, but I look at Arizona State, and somebody mentioned it flipped. I didn't even know that. I was like, wow. So Iowa State's favorite now. But the thing about it is Iowa State has a horrible run defense, and I know Tyson's out for Arizona State, but Levitt can still run the ball. Scadaboo's a beast, and if you got to stop him, K-State could have beat them last week, but they didn't run the ball. If they would have run the ball, they'd have beat Iowa State, because you can run all over Iowa State. So I'm taking Arizona State in that one, and I'm all over Oregon with Matty Ice. I like the 3.5, 4.5 with Penn State. I think money line Oregon is the way to go there, though. But yeah, if you got 3.5 or 4.5 early with Penn State, I think you're good.
I'm on Oregon also. I got the first half and full game. I laid the points full game, so I hope that they cover it. But yeah, I'm right there with you there. And Arizona State. I'll recap my bets here, but I like Arizona State here too. Moose, what about you? Did you get? Oh, you got in on all of them. So what you got here?
Yeah, I got Arizona State team total over. I got that over 26.5 at minus 105 earlier in the week. And I mean, yeah, I obviously the injury to the wide receiver core is because it's not just one guy. It is multiple guys. It's not just their guy who has really been the main dude for them for almost the entire year. You look at all the stats, it's just like it's mainly one person making all the production. But Scadaboo, I mean, Ron Crawford just talked about it. He is an absolute beast, and he is going to be the focal point. But you also got Levitt back there, who is a mobile quarterback, and at times Iowa State has struggled with the mobile quarterback. They have a very dynamic type of offense that can run the ball. The only issue with any kind of team total is I would expect the clock to be running. And my issue with taking Arizona State as a side is I feel like you're basically trying to bet on Rocco Becht if he's going to be good or if he's going to be poor, because he's been very inconsistent this year. But and ASU has a solid secondary, but it doesn't grade all that well, or overly well. They're generally above average to good with a couple of poor performances in there. And BYU did just throw for like 275, 280 yards. And when you have Higgins and Noel back on the other side for Iowa State, I can understand why the line is flipped. I understand why it's dropped. And it seems like a lot of people confident in Rocco Becht to be able to have a decent day. But more than anything, I want to see Arizona State at home, where they have been an absolute wagon against Iowa State. I'm sorry, not at home, but not it's a neutral field, I believe, correct? Yeah. So at a non-road venue, typical road venue, Arizona State has been one of the more offensive teams, and Iowa State outside of Iowa has been generally poor. West Virginia did well, but against Kansas, 45 points. Against the Utah team that was really struggling, they gave up 28. So I kind of like the Arizona State team total over here. Even if they're not going to have one of their dynamic playmakers, I still like Arizona State to score points here.
There we go. Kongs, how about you, man?
So typically I don't force the line flip, right? I'm on Arizona State, and I love it. I do not care what the market's doing here. Typically in college football, I started off the season 15-2 when the line moved against me. So that typically don't bother me. I'm on Arizona State, and I love it. Arizona State's rolling right now. Iowa State's not going to be able to stop Scatterbo. And this receiver that's out, he's not the only receiver they have, right? He's the receiver they go to the most, is how I'm looking at it. There's other receivers on this team that can catch a ball.
Right.
On Arizona State, I gave it out at -2.5. Earlier in the week, I got the -2.5 on my 2-unit parlay. We cashed the first leg of that 2-unit parlay last night with Army. I'm on Arizona State.
There we go. Arizona State. Shout out our guy Gorgon. He said he moved on Ohio. That's the first Ohio I've seen. A lot of Miami, Ohio love. That's the first Ohio I've seen. So we got Arizona State love. Stacks, did you bet this one? I don't know if I.
I was leaning Iowa State, but I ain't get to the window. I ain't betting it. Just way too much Arizona State love.
So off on this one. Razor said Iowa State's now -1. That's crazy. Yeah, let us know, Razor, if you're on this one or what you guys in the chat got. Guys, like I said, today's a little different. We got, 5 of us up here on screen rocking and only 6 games, and we've kind of gone through them. So I'm kind of just going to keep asking you guys what your bets are, what you want to look at. And then I want everybody to recap for the chat so we can recap, and then, I'll close this thing up. But I guess let's go. I was going to say we did Penn State, Oregon here with this group. We did Arizona State, Iowa State. We did Ohio and Miami, Ohio. We did Georgia. We did Texas. So I guess Clemson, SMU. Did anybody in this group not get to talk that one?
Yeah, I got something on that one. I love Rhett Lashley. He was a offensive coordinator at Auburn, just like Ken Dillingham, by the way. He went to Connecticut, did so, and then offensive coordinator at Miami. Now he's got his big shot at SMU, and actually, Daby, I can see him coming into the SEC as a head coach one day, coming back. The thing is, man, and I know everybody talks about, Dabo doesn't do the portal thing, but you know what? He's still got a great defense. I know it's not as good as the ones in the past years, but here's the thing: him coming off a loss at home, he is 8-1 as a dog the next game, and I'm gonna take Clemson. I know it's not favorable for anybody else there, but I'm gonna take Clemson plus the 2.5.
There we go. Hey, like I said earlier, I'd rather have people on different sides, especially when we only got this many games. Hearing the same thing from everyone, it's never something that I feel comfortable with. So I like it. So we got Ron on the other side with most people there with Clemson. Shout out Gorgon, man, dropping another dono. He said he's glad that he's on the same side with you, Kongs, on ASU. So beautiful. Moose, I don't think you were here when we – wait, yeah, you were. You went on this one too. Yeah, so everybody here has already hit on this one. So I guess Marshall and ULL would be the last one. I'll go ahead and throw that up there. I know Moose will have something to say, but you got anybody not get to hit this one that's got a bet in it?
I didn't get to hit this one. I've actually got a few things I haven't hit yet, Cab.
Okay, yeah, let's have it.
We'll start out here. I'm on Louisiana.
Okay.
I don't think Marshall can keep up here. Louisiana is the better team, getting them under a touchdown. A lot of these lines are going to be close because they're conference championship games. I get it. Louisiana, the better team here. I got them going away -5.5.
And then this was the 3-unit banger from our guy Kongs, from our guy Guns, who's hit three in a row, and last 2 weeks he's hit them. ULL's his also here. I think I asked you, Justin, on this one. You didn't have anything here, right?
No, I'm gonna just tell Guns and Kongs.
Yep.
I ain't capped the game. I ain't even look. I didn't even know they was playing.
What about you, Moose? What you looking at here?
Well, I'm going up against it because I am on Marshall +6.
There we go. I love having somebody on the other side.
I mean, the issue with me is ULL's rush defense isn't great. And yes, they have held some teams under, but if you look at their grades on PFF, you kind of go down a layer. They do not grade well against the run. I mean, there's like 10 games that they grade under 60. Just in their last, I'll go basically since their conference play, 52.9, 58.4, 59.0, 77.8 against South Alabama, 64.7, and then last week against ULM, 58.7. Their tackling has not been great. I mean, again, same thing. A lot of games that were graded under 60, and you look on the other side, Marshall has been one of the better rush defenses in the MAC. And yeah, Marshall's offense isn't great, but ULL's defense isn't great. So you're seeing a team that has a good defense against the team that has a great offense. And I mean, defense wins championships. That's been one of the old mottos in football for as long as I can remember. And I'll take the team that has the better defense. And yes, ULL is absolutely a monster on offense, but I kind of think Marshall can slow them down. They haven't done well the last couple of weeks. I probably assume that was brought up by Guns, that they gave up 35 points to Old Dominion, which is awful, and 33 points to James Madison, which, again, not great. But those were two games that they were scoring. For the last few weeks, Marshall has been scoring. You look at their offensive EPA, they rank 54th in offensive EPA, and ULL is not significantly better at 33rd, but defensively, Louisiana 88th in defensive EPA and 71st in net points per drive versus Marshall, which is in the 50s. So I'm going to take the points with a team that I feel is actually fairly comparable to the other side. I mean, I like Louisiana. I mean, I've been on Louisiana a couple times this year, but I've also been on Marshall. I had a future on them that cashed, and I'm just going to keep on riding the herd here. So give me Marshall. I'll take the +6. And I will go up against the wall. I'll go up against the Kongs. I'll go up against the 3-unit play. And I will hope to come out the other side the victor, but obviously not a great side to be on when you're going up against two legit cappers and that have some significant plays like that.
Hell yeah. But I like having somebody on the other side. I'm not lying. It's good for the content to hear both sides.
Moose, I'm with you, man. I'm with you in this one. You go into James Madison and you beat that team. That's a tough win, man. And they did win these games. They won at Old Dominion. They won at James Madison. And you look at their record on the road, man. They're 5-0 ATS on the road, 10-1 against the spread all time. All this year. And Louisiana, this is a true home game for Louisiana. By the way, we mentioned that one. This is at Lafayette, but yeah, Marshall, man, they just cover. And give me 6, I'm taking it. Absolutely.
There we go. So we got Ron and we got Moose on Marshall. We got Kong and we got Guns on ULL. And we also got Matty Ice's full card here. Make sure and hit the like button and show some love. Getting the taint, getting Matty Ice's card, getting the spreadsheet plays of the day, getting stacks, getting Kongs, Moose, Guns. I mean, wine time. Come on, guys. This is gold right here. Oregon money line in the under 60.5 at +120. Georgia +3, and Clemson +2.5. My full card for college football today. Smash that like. Thank you, Matty Ice. Thank you for what you guys add to this. Kong, I want to let you clean it up because you said you had some you hadn't touched on, and then we are going to recap our bets. And then we'll go get paid. What do you want to look at, Kong?
All right. We'll go to Oregon.
Okay. Let's hear it. I'm ready. I'm doubled up here. So,
all right. So, Oregon, Penn State. I gave this out on Monday. If you watch Medicate Monday, if not, come on over. It's a blast. James Franklin, man, big games. He's no good there. He's no good there. He can't win the big games. Oregon's first year in the Big Ten, and they've come in and dismantled their schedule. Not covering some games, but these games we're talking about are 20 and a half spreads. We got 18.5 spreads that they're not covering. Bigger numbers, right? Oregon wins this game. First half, full game. Lay it. It's my best bet for the weekend here. I just don't think Penn State can keep up. We know what Penn State wants to do. They want to get Allen and Singleton the ball. Oregon's run defense, super stout. You're running into a wall. I took Oregon in the first half. It was -1.5 yesterday. I wake up this morning, it's 2.5. Love it and love it. Oregon full game -3.5. The market tells you this lands on 3. I don't see it. I don't see how Oregon don't pull away and potentially rest their starters in the fourth quarter here. So I'm on Oregon. I'm laying it. Better luck next year, Penn State.
I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more, though. And then Matty Ice echoing your sentiments right there. He said, I live and breathe Big Ten football. Penn State isn't it, fellows. Franklin is a fraud. Yeah, Franklin, Dabo. Yeah, they're in the same boat for me. Ron, did you already hit this one, Ron?
Yeah. I'm on Oregon as well. But I did say if you got the early week 4.5, maybe with Penn State, you're probably good. But yeah, I've been saying the same thing. And Matty, I said this team's a fraud. I've just been waiting for them to slip up. I thought it was going to be against Maryland, and wow, they blew them out. So usually they don't cover at home too well, But like he said, for Franklin in big games just isn't it, man. So look what he did in the big games this year. Just not there. So.
Yeah, and Steve's saying Oregon needs the round for the first round bye. Yeah, I think I made a comment that they're going to get it anyways. I guess that's wrong because only the conference champs get it. So they do need it for the first round bye. And I'll say this again: if you can't get motivated for a conference championship game, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with your team. I don't think this whole Georgia won't be motivated or Oregon or Texas won't because they both go to the playoffs or Oregon won't. I don't buy that for a second. These are championship games. These are on your list of goals that you make as a player. Yes, the national championship is number one, but winning the conference championship is the goal that you have to hit before that one. And that's on everybody's list. So I don't think
to add, Dabby, Penn State's got a great defense, but in this situation, we're on a fast turf in Indianapolis, and I think Oregon's just too damn fast, honestly.
I agree.
Don't think it's right.
I agree. So I'm with you guys there. I'm Oregon doubled up. Stacks, you already hit this one, I think, too, right?
No, I didn't go official. I ain't even bet it yet, but I'm going to be on Oregon some way, probably halftime, full-time. That way I ain't got to worry about the spread.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Gotcha. Doubled up. Moose, what about you?
I'm probably going to be adding Oregon first half. I mean, from everything I'm hearing, I totally agree. And if there's the one thing that does give me pause is that Penn State in these games that they have been beaten. I mean, Razor has been putting it in the chat. James Franklin has just been horrific against top 5 teams. I mean, it's unbelievable. But the one thing that somehow shows up in some of those games is the defense. But they get beat. They do not do anything offensively. They get beat on the offensive side of the ball horrifically. I mean, they just do not put up any points. So even though their defense kind of keeps them in games somewhat, but not covering, those games don't generally go over. Oregon has been playing surprisingly to the under because of their defense. I mean, they score like 30-plus points, but they hold teams to under 20. And Penn State has been solid on defense. I totally agree that they're probably not going to be able to keep up with the speed but they do have speed. Like they have guys that are fast out there. So I'm not expecting the crazy breakaway touchdowns. But I absolutely agree that Oregon has the speed to be able to create problems for Penn State. And the issue is Penn State, I just don't even see them really scoring here. So a Penn State team total under would also be a potentially good look here. But I am on the full game under with wine time. I got the 50.5 because I liked it when it crossed that 50 margin. That 49.5 is also good because it's still above the key number of 49. Give me the under full game. And I'm probably very likely going to add the first half. And I think more than likely I'm going to be tailing the Taint play with the under 60.5 in the Oregon money line. So that's likely all stuff that's going to be on my card for here.
When Taint says biggest bet of the season, pay attention. That's all I got. Man, you guys in the chat, we still got over 200 people rocking with us right here. You know, we've been going for an hour and 30. We got 30 minutes until kickoff. I want to let Kong go ahead and hit any bets he missed. And then I'm going to let everybody on screen here recap. I've got one more person in the wings that wants to bring you guys another best bet. I'll recap my best bets, but thank you, man. Like I said, over 200 people. Hit the like
Deb,
button.
I'll drop off if you want to bring somebody else on, but I'm going to talk about the Miami Hurricanes real quick.
Yeah.
Today in basketball. So before I go, Clemson, we had Clemson big the other night. I think I was one of the only ones in that bin as well. So Clemson off a big win, now going to Miami, and look for Miami to come up big in this one and get the points with the Miami Hurricanes against Clemson.
So Miami was a team that I heavily bet the past few years in college basketball. And then last year was just not a good year to be backing Miami. And I think a lot of people got burned by them. And I think the books are showing no love to Miami, no respect whatsoever. And I just want to reiterate, or not reiterate, but make the statement. This is a Jim Larinaga coached basketball team. Like, you better be careful thinking that Miami's an easy fade, because they're not. And like you just said the other day, they covered. I like Miami.
Yeah, and they went to Arkansas. I mean, they played Arkansas very tough, and Arkansas is going to be a good team with Calipari taking over there at Arkansas. So, definitely. But thanks, everybody. Good luck, and hey, I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow on the Pub Hub. So, you guys have a great day and good luck.
Hell yeah, Ron. Much love, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to our guy Ron Crawford right there, bringing us spreadsheet play of the day. Right here on the tailgate, man. What a treat we've had today. We only got 6 games, so I thought the bets would have been a little less. Shit, I got more bets than a normal week. I got more bets to recap than a normal week for you guys. Real quick, before we get to our guy, actually, screw it. I hate people sitting backstage. I don't care if it looks better on screen or not. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to go ahead and bring him up here. Our guy, he brought us some action in college football, and he's got some UFC action. So action to spray across the board. One of my favorite people, good friend of mine that we do this with. Let me get him up here. Billy Briz. What up, Billy?
What up, man? I gotta start by saying God bless America, and for all the ones that serve our country and stuff like that. Maybe you lost a family member in the services or something like that. Today's National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, one of the most horrible days ever in our history's country. So God bless for all those people that are in the Army, Navy, Air Force that put their lives on the line every day.
Oh yeah, Billy, man, good sentiment to come up here on, and glad to have you up here with us on the last tailgate. Real quick, I'm gonna let these guys hit their bets. Justin has a college basketball bet that he wants to give everyone. I want Kong to hit anything he hasn't done, and Moose will recap because Moose got here a little late too. So let's go ahead and do it like this. Kong, was there any game? We already hit all the games, right?
Yeah.
So can you do me a favor and recap your bets and then hit me with the parlay?
Absolutely. Oregon, first half, -2.5. It's good money. Oregon, full game, -3.5. Love it and love it. Big 12 championship, Iowa State at Arizona State. One Arizona State. Get whatever number you can. You can take the money line right now, I do believe, and get a little bit of that juice down because the line is flipped. ACC championship, we're on SMU, playing Clemson. I touched on my profit boost parlay earlier with the Big Ten championship and the SEC championship. It was Georgia money line. The under 49.5, and Oregon first half minus 1.5. I do believe. Grab the 2.5. It's good money. I believe it was plus 650 without the boost. 2-unit parlay time. If you are on my X, I put out a 2-unit parlay yesterday, or 4 yesterday. It started yesterday. It was Army minus 5.5, Arizona State minus 2.5, and Oregon minus 3.5. Have to cook up something for the sesh, right? It's only right. The sesh. I called it the sesh. Sorry, it's early. Had to cook up something for the tailgate. So the 2-unit parlay for the tailgate is Louisiana minus 5.5, SMU money line, and Oregon first half minus 2.5, plus 547. Go get it. Get paid today. It's a beautiful thing we do here, coming on, giving out our plays for you guys that are here early and often every Saturday. Bittersweet that this is the last show we're going to do in this format. I do believe we have something cooked up for bowl season, as well as the reveal show for the playoffs Tuesday. So if you're not doing anything Tuesday night, come hang out with us. Roughly 6:45, I do believe, right, Cab? You're muted, Bubba.
Yeah, we'll go 15 minutes early. But yeah, that's a good plug because we hadn't told people. Like Kong said, the reveal, playoff reveal, be right here. We'll be live for it.
You get live reactions. Nobody knows what this playoffs is going to look like. So we will be here. Everybody watching ESPN, seeing what is going down with the college playoff reveal. So just come hang out with us. We won't be there long. Just hang out and see what the bracket looks like. Love you guys. Appreciate you all for being here every week. Nibbler, Steve G, Real Madrid, Old E, all you people, dude, show up every week. And I know you're making money because this is one of the most profitable college football shows I do believe I have ever seen. Love you guys. Appreciate you for having me. Happy holidays. Go tell someone you love them. Kong out.
Hell yeah. Talking about dominating, man. What a job Kong did for us this year on the tailgate. Make sure you follow him on X. Show some love, man. And I can't wait to keep it rolling. He shows up on Mondays on the sesh too, man. Real one right there. Guys, I'm going to let Stacks hit his bets. I'm going to let Moose hit his, Billy, and then we're going to close with your best bet in college football and then also UFC. We want to talk about a little UFC before we get out of here, give everybody a treat, a little extra bet. I haven't hit my bets yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do it, guys. I might, eat shit on this one, but I'm taking ASU plus 0.5 point in the first half. I get that the line's flipped. Whatever. You're giving me something that I couldn't get the other day. I like it. So ASU first half plus 0.5 point at minus 120. I am on Georgia. There you go, Stacks. I was holding it back. You didn't see this one coming, did you? I got Georgia plus 2.5 in the first half. Not even full game first half. I'm going right up against Guns and Moose. Not necessarily where I want to be, but it's where I'm at. I got Oregon first half and full game ATS. I think the Ducks smash. And then in college basketball, I'm going on the road in one of the toughest places to play against notoriously one of the best teams in college basketball. I don't give a shit. Give me Kentucky. I got Kentucky plus 4 in the first half against the Zags. I think this Kentucky team's been a little undervalued early this season. So that's where I'm at. Kentucky first half. That's my one college basketball play. Those are my bets. Now let's get back on track here. I wanted to get that before we kick. Stacks, can you recap your Stacks play of the day in college football and then also let us know what college basketball bet you got?
Yeah, Stacks for football is Miami, Ohio, minus 2.5.
Beautiful. So Miami, Ohio, minus 2.5. We got several people there. What is college basketball? What are we looking at there?
Marquette minus 6.5.
I like that one. I do, especially to bounce back here today at home. I think it's a good spot for Marquette. So I love it, man. So we got Miami, Ohio, and then we got Marquette. And then it's not Stacks, but you're also on Georgia full game, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also on Gonzaga.
You're on Gonzaga? Damn,
yeah.
Bro. Full game?
Full game, minus 5.5.
That's cool, bro. I can get that first half. You can have the full game.
I'm about to say, you take first half, take full game.
Yeah, so some people wonder. There's a couple reasons with the first half. One, because I might want to bet the game again at halftime, right? And it makes me, if I have a full game bet, I usually don't want to hedge or go against myself. So one, it keeps the board open. Two, in college basketball, don't go against the home team full game. Just don't fucking do it. Take the first half if you're going on the road. That's just like Illinois yesterday against Northwestern, right? I cashed Illinois first half and then it lost in overtime, right? It's a game of two halves, so we can both cash. Moose, I know, Moose, you've got to hit several of them, but did we miss anything, Moose, that you haven't got to touch on yet?
No, we talked about every single one of the games. Yeah, we talked about every one of them.
Now, I know the regular season and the championships are over, but the Moose Dive is still available for the playoffs, I'm assuming, for anybody who wants it. All you got to do is put your email in the chat right now. Just put your email in there, and Moose will give you the link. It's unbelievable information on every single game. He breaks it down, gives you tons of information. A lot of love for it, Moose. I don't know if I've told you that, but last week when you weren't here, a lot of people were showing love for it. The people that use the Moose Dive absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So if you haven't gotten it, get in it. Please get in it.
Moose, I'm not going to be doing bowl games. I mean, with opt-outs and just guys that are not playing in the games, I'm not going to be doing it for bowl games, but I will be doing it for the playoff games. So because those are actually games where we're going to get teams that are still the team they were in the regular season. But bowl games, you don't know who's showing up. I mean, you might get the second string squad going up against the practice squad unit. So, but I am on for today's championship games. I do have a play in every single one of the games. I wanted that action, boss. Arizona State team total over 26.5. Yes, I am well aware of the injury concerns that are out there. For our guy, the wide receiver. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name now? All of a sudden, Jordan Tyson. The injury concern, Jordan Tyson. Yeah, that's huge because he's literally their main offensive option. But Iowa State has been horrible against the run. I expect Scadaboo and Levitt to be able to run all over them. Miami, Ohio money line. I am going right up against you, Cab. I'm on first half Texas. I'm also on first quarter Texas. That turnover margin is absolutely in the Texas's favor, and they lost that turnover margin last time they played. I expect them to clean that up. Marshall +6. I'm going right up against Kongs and Guns on that. SMU -2.5 going up against Taint, which obviously not a place I want to be. And I'm going to be on Penn State, Oregon under 50.5, and I'm adding the first half Oregon, and I'm adding the Taint play of the day, which is the Oregon money line in under 60.5.
Beautiful. Hey, I tell you what, today's a day. I said it off the top. We're going to be against each other. Like, there's only 6 games, and we've got so many cappers. There's no way we're not. And personally, I'd rather have a show where I hear both sides of a game. I like to have different opinions. Billy, you're going to close us up today, and I'm excited for it. I want to hear what you got in college football, and you can't leave us without any college basketball if you got some of that too. But real quick, let me hit Guns since he's not here to recap for you guys. You guys got stacks. You just heard Ron spreadsheet play of the day recap. You heard Moose recap. You heard me recap. So let me go ahead and hit for Guns real quick. Guns has the team total under 21.5 for Ohio. He has the Iowa State, Arizona State under. He is on ULL -5.5 for 3 units. That is Guns' 3-unit banger. And then he's on Texas first half -1.5. Our guy Matty Ice, you heard Moose just say it, but Oregon money line and the under 60.5 for +120. He's on Clemson ATS and Georgia ATS. Shout out to our guy Taint. You guys heard Kong recap. You heard Moose. You heard Ron. You heard Stacks. You heard me. Am I missing anything else in here? I think that's it. We get to wrap this thing up with you, Billy. What college football game do you have action in today? I'm ready to hear this.
Right off the top here, you got to make sure you use our sponsors over at FanDuel here to get these plays in because there are a bunch of player parlays. But first one is the Arizona State Iowa State game. We have Cameron Scadabro for a rushing touchdown and Rocco Beck, Iowa State's quarterback, to get 1 passing touchdown. That's -164. If you wanted to get even odds, you can kind of play around with that. You could throw yards on that. You kind of build off of that. Maybe you like a side. But I'm going with the safe play to start off the day here. And I'm also with my man, Justin, with Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
But my favorite bet of the day comes in this last game of the slate. You know, for me to bet on anything during the UFC card, it's got to be good. Penn State versus Oregon. Penn State 1-16 last 17 games versus top 5 teams in the country. Oregon's going to roll here, man. Penn State shouldn't be here in this spot. Jordan James, anytime touchdown. Dylan Gabriel, 1 passing touchdown. That's minus 114 odds. So you don't even have to pick a side. You just need the running back to score, and you need the quarterback to throw a touchdown. That's minus 114. That's my biggest play. And then college basketball. Let's go over to the hoops. Don't forget there's hoops on today. 1 o'clock game, Marquette versus Wisconsin. I like Marquette here. You could bet it on the spread. I think one of those books that we will not name have 5.5, but you can use it as a money line parlay piece. And I also like in the battle of the Philly Fives here, I like St. Joe's against LaSalle. It's a little bit chalky. But goddamn, dude, they played Princeton in their last game, and Xavier Lee might have had the best game ever in his career. I mean, he had like a 17, 13, 10 triple-double as like a 6'1" guard. Like, LaSalle doesn't have all that. That line should be at like 10.5, not 6.5. And then let's go over to the UFC tonight. UFC, we're live tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern. Last pay-per-view event of the year. We're in Las Vegas. The big hitters are out for this one for the main card. The play that I'm going to give you here, it's kind of unpopular, man. But we started off the show talking about Pearl Harbor. It wasn't a good day for us on Pearl Harbor, and I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be some bombs on the main event. While I do like the under 2.5 and fight not to go to distance in the main event tonight, I like the new debutante Kai Asakura to knock out the champion here, plus 200 on the money line. I wouldn't even bet the knockout prop. I would just take it straight on the money line. And for people that bought my packages before for UFC, you know, bro, I'm not one of them people that are, I'm just trying to put out winners. Like, I'm just trying to roll over my money type shit. Sometimes, some weeks, there really don't be underdogs hitting on the UFC card, like, unless it's like some bullshit decision or something like that. I think Kai Asakura is the dog that you're going to need. Everyone's going to tell you it's going to be Ian Gary, Vicente Luque, this, that, and the third. Nah, it's going to come in the main event. The bookies are going to make their money on the parlays on the main event. Everybody and their mom has Alexander Pantoja parlay because they don't know anything about Kai Asakura, but he's the double champ from Ryzen. He's fought good-ass people, bro. He's fought Manel Cape twice. He's fought Kyrie Horiguchi twice. That's like the Bellator bantamweight champion. He has like one of the most fights ever in like their promotion. Like, bro, he didn't fought good-ass people. He hasn't fought at flyweight in over 7 years, bro. How the fuck is he making 125 for starters? He made it, and now he's about to fight Pantoja? Like, submitted? Yeah, bro. That's why I like the under. But, man, it's just not ironic that Kai Cenat's Mafia-thon was the most streamed event ever, broke every streaming record ever. And then the UFC just signed some random-ass dude named Kai Asakura from Ryzen champion and throw him in a title fight. When the fuck has somebody made their debut as a title fight? Bro, we haven't seen that shit since Demetrius Johnson type days, like over a decade ago. This nigga about to knock him the fuck out. So make sure you get on that plus 200. A little bit long-winded, but I have to, man. It's one of those ones you got to explain, man, to the people of like, this is really good value at plus 200.
Well, explain to the people who understand UFC. You were speaking a different language to me that whole time. I was listening, but I didn't understand a damn thing you said. One thing I do know, though, is if you go to pubsportsradio.com and click on the competitions or the contest, we have a free contest every week. I'm going to say it again. It's free. All you got to do is click the fighters that you think are going to win, and you can win $100. I did it, or I do it every week, but I did it and got 6th place a few weeks ago, which is sad because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I just click. I just go through.
Yeah, bro, Dave was on stream and fucking won, bro. The first pay-per-view event of this year, we're on stream. Dave was like, let me put in the UFC picks. He didn't really won the contest, bro, and he couldn't name more than 2 fighters on the fucking card outside the main event. Like,
that's me, bro. Like I said, you sound like you were speaking a foreign language to me. I know plus 200. I know what that means, and I know money line. So I'll go get me a plus 200 money line on the last fight, and I'll tune in with you guys tonight. Make sure, guys, like you said, last pay-per-view fight of the card. I don't have to know UFC because all I got to do is listen to Billy, listen to Big Show, listen to you guys. You know, shout out to Joe T, all you guys, just my 2 cents. I don't got to know UFC. I just got to listen to you guys. And I will be there tonight. I'll come kick it with you guys. Man, Stacks, Moose, Billy, thank you guys for being up here with me. I'm going to let you guys hit the chat one more time. My guy Dutch dropped the Grizz first half, 3.5. So there you go. You got NBA, you got UFC, you got college basketball, you got college football. We brought it all, man. But we only brought it because you guys are here with us in the chat. So thank you, man. Thank you again. I don't want to get on my soapbox, but the very first time I put my name in a chat was because I wanted the opportunity to cap college football live and make my bets live with you guys. And now 3 years later, here I am doing the tailgate with y'all. It's surreal. It's fucking awesome, man. And I hope that we get to do this
further, bro. Pubblepalooza, bro. I didn't even know who you were. I woke up out of my nap and Daby said, we about to bet the first half, and we went to the game in person and bet it. And we went to a Final Four game and left, bro, at halftime. That's how much money we didn't made at the first half. Daby said, "You trying to get out of here and smoke?" I said, I knew we go. So Pubblepalooza announcement's coming soon, man. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Man, like to meet everybody in person, bro. It's actually a surreal experience.
It really is. It's insane. It's one of the best things ever. Stacks, you gonna be there this year?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Moose?
Teaching.
What do you mean teaching? You can't get off in March?
I mean, I got probably not. No, probably not.
No. Damn it. Use your days. Use your days, man. Kong's Clips, Dutch, Make America Great, MMA Locker Room, Morgan Spooner, Super True Story G, T Moss, Matty Ice. We got Taint today, baby. All you guys, man. Again, thank you so much. I don't even like ending the show right here because like I said, this is what, you know, I wanted a weed show. I got that with my guy Dutch, and I wanted a college football show, and I got that. I mean, it don't get better, man. Stacks, you got anything you want to share with everyone before we leave? Any last words?
No, you know, I don't do no social media or Twitter. No, I just be on Puff Sports. That's all.
Yeah, and I love it. It's great. Moose, what about you, man?
I mean, more than anything, I think I said it a couple weeks ago when thought it was going to be my last time on here. I cannot begin to express my appreciation for what is going on here. All the people that have come on here from, you know, Guns, Wine Time. I mean, hell, even the few times, the rare appearances that we've had from Briz. I mean, Briz, come on, man, get on next year, every day, every week. All right. Every week. You're shaking your head. Yes. So I see that. That's contractually obligated.
I wake up at like 12 on Saturdays, man.
All right. We'll try 6:30. All right. So, you know, not getting a lot of sympathy from my, I have to wake up at 12 o'clock to get on this. But you did give a contractually obligated head nod. So we have that on the books. But more than anything, man, I mean, the chat is just unbelievable. You know, Razor would love to get you on here. It's been forever since I feel like we've been on a stream together.
My name's not Jimmy. He don't get on. I'm just kidding. He does the sesh. Well, that's for Dutch. That's for Dutch. He does the sesh for Dutch. But I ask Razor every week, and every week, maybe.
I like Daby comments, man. You know, sometimes Daby comes off as the nice guy, but don't let him fool you, man. He got some good, funny comments, bro.
He said, "Don't let him fool you."
Right? There's that inner asshole that just is begging to get out there.
It's the baseball, man.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is 100% a baseball thing because it's like the sport where you fail the most, so you have the most opportunity to be like, God damn, you suck.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro. If I see something, like Action Jackson said, college football was a disaster. I said, well, you must have been in the wrong place because you weren't here all year. That's all I got to say, Billy. One more time, let them know where the UFC will be tonight, where they can find you, maybe the contest, and wrap us up, man. Take us home.
Yeah, man. Shouts to everybody in chat that joined with us, man, and that joined with us for the whole entire year, even for the live streams when we're doing that in the beginning of the year. We're going to try to bring that back for college basketball, especially for 2025. King AI, I like Marquette the most for college basketball today. That's a 1:30 game. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're going live tonight, 6 p.m. East, from the first fight of the night to the last fight of the night. Hopefully we bring in some special guests because I do have a lot of college football bets. So sometimes I get stuck in the fucking UFCs too much and I forget there's other sports going on. So we need to bring on some special guests from some different sports. See you guys at the fights tonight. Don't be late, man, because them shits are going to be popping off. First fight of the night, we got money on. So first fight of the night to the last fight of the night, we just gave you the free play in the main event. So it's going to be a crazy fucking day of action. Like I I don't think people are ready for this, man. Like, you gotta put Christmas gifts under the tree after this weekend. So this weekend is inevitable for us.
Hey, that's the way we got to get paid. We got to pay for Christmas. That's the way to end it, man. One last time. Thank you guys. Billy, Stacks, Moose, Kong, Guns, Dutch has been here with us all year. Wine Time, everybody, man. Thank you. Let's get paid today, man. We'll see you guys soon. Much love. Man, my adrenaline always comes down after the show, man. Thank you for jumping on with us, Billy. And Moose, you didn't, if you were.
We're still live, by the way.
Oh, well, let me end the show then. I got weed in my hand that I'm breaking down.